Jimin.
Thank you.
Oh, maybe I can do this. All right, that'll work. All right, wait. Let me do this. Hold on,
So
hold on.
the 2, do you have to divide the whole thing by 2 or just the square root part?
Oh, okay, that's a big problem too. The whole thing is divided. Yeah.
Okay, so when I enter my calculator, I need to put in the fraction first, and then enter all the top stuff in, and then
Here, let me show you.
times.
All right, wait a minute. Let me copy this down. Because the minute I change over, I'm going to lose what I've written down. But I want you to see me put this in the calculator. All right, everybody just try not to get too excited here about watching me over Zoom writing stuff down. Okay, here we go. Let me clear this, stop share. Let me share this. Okay, here we go. So negative 0.6315. Oh, Nikes. Okay, what's happening? All right, here we go. Let me just do it like this, 6315. And let me do the plus. I'm going to do the plus one first, right? It's plus or minus. Let me do plus. I've already messed up, but it'll be all right. 0.6315 squared minus 4 times negative. Is everybody with me so far? Another thing is, this is the minus key right here. This is the negative key. They are two different things. They've been hardwired differently. If you use them at the wrong time, calculator ain't gonna like it. So I did a minus 4 times negative. So I did a minus 4 times negative 0.0015 times 1.9. Enter. That's the top. Divided by, oh, I know you guys love this whole thing. You ready? Divided by parentheses 2 times negative 0.00175. Okay. So several things you have to be careful about. If you do the top, not in parentheses, you have to hit enter and then divide what you get. You have to put the bottom in parentheses so it knows that this whole thing is on the bottom. Oh man, I hope my internet's okay. All right. So for example, I should be able to do this, I think. Let's find out. Here's something a really simple example of what I'm talking about. Can you guys tell me what 14 divided by 2 times 7? What should that be? Don't do any work on the calculator. Just tell me. What's 14 divided by 2 times 7? No work to do. What's 14 divided by 2 times 7?
14.
1.
1. That's 14 divided by 14, ain't it? But if I put in the calculator, and this is not the calculator's fault, this is our fault. If I do 14 divided by 2 times 7, it don't give me 1. Do it. Good grammar, Jeff. And the reason is it's going to do exactly what I put in. 14 divided by 2 is 7 times 7. Oh, shit. So how do I make the calculator do the right thing? 14 divided by parentheses. So then it knows 2 times 7 is on the bottom. Do you guys see that? I'm kind of happy that the calculator does not have eyeballs, because that would freak me the shit out. But because it doesn't have eyeballs, we have to tell it, oh yeah, calculator, all this shit's on the bottom, all of it. And that's how we do it, with parentheses. Poor little calculator. I always joke that if we give these things eyes, the next step is freaking Skynet. We're all dead. Several different kinds of Terminators and who knows what else.
Yeah, Dark Fate was awesome.
I liked it better than I thought I would, considering all the horrible reviews, but for what it was fine. Yes. Oh, I'll leave it there. I don't know. Nothing could ever beat Terminator 2. I'm sorry. That's the best one ever in the entire universe of everything that ever existed. Is that all right? You guys with me? So there's a lot of places on the problem to make little mistakes. So then how would I get the other answer? I would do all I just did with a minus sign in here instead, right? Okay. If any of you are curious, well, it depends on what kind of calculator you have, but do you see all these little green letters? See up here? All these little letters? I don't know if anybody would really be interested in this, but I could put 0.6315. I can store it. See the green alpha button? I could store it in B because 0.6315 is B. I could store negative 0.00175. I can store it in A because that is A. And C was 1.9, is that right? So I could take 1.9 and I could store it in alpha C. And then look at the shit I could do. I could then do parenthesis, negative B plus square root of B squared minus 4AC divided by 2A. All right, let's see if I put everything in there right. Yeah, see, I get the same thing. So then you can basically just have this look exactly the way it's supposed to every damn time, no matter what the numbers are. But I mean, that's an option. And of course, if you don't have this calculator, you have other memory things, but.
I need to take the calculator show how to work class.
Oh, yeah. Well, since this class did not require a TI because you could take 120 after it, but if you take 160, they do have a general calculator workshop that we put on that just shows you the basics of how to use no matter what class you're in. And then they have specific calculator workshops for different classes.
I'm taking your 160.
All right. Oh, that's right. You're taking that with me, right?
Yes.
Yeah. 160. All right. She's like, I didn't get enough torture from him in just one class.
I just feel like my since it's fresh still, I might as well keep going with the math so I won't forget.
Oh my God. I'm not, yeah, definitely. You never want to take time off. But let me make sure you guys, does anyone need to take, well, let's see, you're in Math 96. So I'm pretty sure nobody needs to take pre-calculus. I really hope not, because if you do, you've been in the wrong class. Everybody should be going towards 120 or 160. So, right. Okay. Please tell me that's true. Anyway, there's a lot of other stuff with that, but anybody else have any questions? If not, we're going to get right back into the practice final that we were working on last time. Oof. I didn't make a video because we're basically almost done with it. So I figured if we just polish it off today, that's it. Let me see. I think I have it open here somewhere. Yes. Let me close you. Bam. So if you weren't here last class, we did all of this. Woo! This is the practice final that's up on Canvas. We did all of this stuff here. By the way, anybody have any questions about how tomorrow's going to work before I get too far? Let me.
Yes,
tomorrow.
Jeff, go ahead and explain it.
Yeah, what's going on tomorrow, everybody?
Finals.
Yeah, finals.
Wait,
Start.
what?
Please tell me you're joking. So if you go to modules, the very top module now is this. And I put up there the final exam time. Right? We'll be taking the final exam live. We'll do it live. It's not going to be like the quizzes. All right, maybe our first quiz was like this. We're going to all do the final. We're going to all have our cameras on Zoom, and we're all going to be here at this time. All right. So this is today's meeting. So I'm guessing you guys found this because that's how you got here. This is the link for tomorrow. And my office hours start at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Just so if we have some extra time. Huh?
We have to finish our homework by tomorrow.
Yeah. Yep.
Are we able to go ahead and show the you're gonna send us to the link for the final and everything, and we're gonna punch in or whatever?
It's right here. Yeah, it's the same as always. It's just, you guys with me? So when you go into Math 96, when you go into here, go to modules, the very first module, there's the Zoom link for the December 8th final exam and office hours. Office hours start at 8. I would highly recommend, in fact, I will require you to get here 5 minutes early, roughly, just to make sure you get in, because once the final begins, I'm not letting anybody else in. Because if you show up like 20 minutes later, I have no idea if you've already been working on the final in who knows what way. Do you understand what I'm saying? So even if that's not true, if you have technical difficulties, just email me and we'll work it out. I'm not going to give you a 0 on the final because you had technical issues. Does everybody understand? But to maintain the integrity of the final exam, if you are more than a couple of minutes late, I will not be able to let you do it because I haven't had you on camera watching you, and the final is going to open at 9:25. Everybody will be able to access the final at 9:25. If you're not here on camera, I don't have eyes on you. I don't know what you're doing. Okay. But again, please, dear God, please don't take that as if I'm if you have technical issues, email me, tell me what's going on. We'll work something out. I'm giving 2 more finals. You could Zoom in during one of my other finals and take your final exam then. Do you understand? Okay, just let me know. Anything else? Any other questions about how that's going to work?
I normally print out my quizzes. Are we able to print out the final?
Of course. Yeah. So they'll be up the same way as the quizzes were like up. So you'll go to it. You can print it out if you want to.
Yeah.
I like. Everybody else okay? Everybody else good? How many do I have? All 15 of you? I have about half the class here today. That's interesting. Oh, all right. So so now we got to go back to here. Hold on. Bam. Bam. So we left off on number 6, which is the more recent problem, right? I'm going to have a problem like this. You know it. I don't know if you guys have tried to do this yet. And I like that I don't know how to spell pairs. It's awesome. 300 pairs, not just one Paris. All right, sorry. Someone try to do part A yet for this bad boy here. Read through it real quick. My hint is written in English, so hopefully you haven't gotten used to the book's way of writing hints in some strange, it seems like it's been Google translated back and forth about 80 times. What are the 2 points that I'm working with, the 2 points of information? Anybody?
Pairs of earrings and the price per pair.
So what are the 2 points specifically?
Oh, 3.
15.
300, because it's earrings sold first. That's the X piece. That's 300 pairs of earrings, right?
Mhm, and 15.
that. Comma 15. And what's the other point?
375, comma $12.
There you go. So a lot of physical situations can be represented as points. They won't always be 2-dimensional points in the real world. Thankfully, this one is, right? And then you just got to find the equation of a line. So that just means find the slope like we've done before. And it just means find, and then you can use the y minus y1. Remember this good old thing? The only difference is when I finish this, I'm going to, instead of having a y, I'm going to put a p for price, right? But when I'm working a problem out, I like to have it in the form I'm used to. And at the end, I can change things if I need to. There's Linnell. All right, let's see. I'm going to catch up to you guys. So I got 12 minus 15 over 375 minus 300, right? I have a sneaking suspicion that most of you guys turn that into a decimal. Is that right? What'd you guys, and that's fine. What'd you guys get? Especially because it stops. What'd you get?
Negative 0.04.
Beautiful. I love it. I had 2 Linnells there for a minute. That freaked me out. Oh, you're connected twice. Okay, I got you. Everybody with me on that? Right. And now how do you get the equation? Y minus pick a point equals slope times x minus pick a point. Does this feel familiar or no? Is somebody really lost as to what the hell I'm doing? Anybody? You guys all right? Okay.
I did y minus 15
Ooh,
equals 0.04 times x minus 300.
I like it. So you picked the point 315. I like it. So that's fine. Either point will work. That's a good point because 300 is a really nice round number, right? I would pick the same thing. So you get y minus 15, and now let's multiply this through, right? Negative times negative is plus. 300 times 0.04 is 12. And then the last thing I could do is what? What's still in the wrong place? Whoa, shit.
Add 15 to both sides.
15. Yeah, I'm trying to get y by itself, which of course is going to become p. So let me add 15, So I get, let me change y to p. Price is negative 0.04x plus 27. Which makes sense. If I want the number of pairs of earrings to increase, I want the price to decrease. That's why it makes sense. It's got a negative slope. I've got to take the price down in order to sell more. So most price functions will have a negative slope. Do you have to know all that? No, you don't. You really don't. But it's a good little thing to know. If you did the homework about this, this should feel very familiar. This is set up basically the same way they do. We know that the revenue, now why does this make sense? Please just let formulas make sense. How much money do I make? Well, it's going to be how many things I sell times how much they each cost. That's all it says. We know that. If my lemonade costs 50 cents a cup and I sell 2 cups, I made $1. 2 times 50 cents, right? So it's, I know that equation. It's nothing amazing. It's nothing, so I'm going to take X times price. And I know the price is that, right? Now that I think is where people have trouble. You guys still have trouble, and I don't blame you. You still have trouble understanding that this is just the price. You give me an X, it'll be an amount of money, right? That's all it is. Why is it gross looking? Because I don't know this. I don't know how much I want to sell yet, right? So it's the number of things I'm going to sell times the price, which is an equation itself. And then, of course, you can distribute. And not surprisingly, this ends up being quadratic, right? It ends up with a squared. All right. Try to finish up B and do C. I'll sit here and just wait. All right, I'm going to do this real quick. So this is negative 0.04x squared plus 27x. Don't forget, distribute to both. So I like the way they do this. Part A, it was me. Part A is finding the equation of a line from 2 points, right? But in a physical context. Part C is finding the equation of a line not from 2 points, but from information, right? The portion of the fixed monthly costs is $530. Per pair, it costs $2.20. So what will the total cost be? What is the slope? And what is the, well, if I call that what it is, it's going to give it away, right? What, I don't know if you guys were, what goes for M and what goes for B?
M is 2.2 and B is 530.
2.2 and B is 530, because very often this is called the fixed amount. Because as X changes, does this piece give a shit? No, right? B is B. As X changes, the MX part changes, right? But the B don't give a shit. It's the fixed amount. So saying that this is the fixed cost kind of gives that away. All right. So now I can write the profit, right? Because I know the profit is revenue minus cost. And here is, and by the way, I am all too well aware that this is, and I warned you about this, this is heavier in pure math than some of the other sections, right? But, you know, it's a math class. Eventually we had to do that. So profit is revenue minus cost. Do I have a revenue function? Yeah, I do, right there. So let me put that. That's revenue. Now here's the mistake that people make. Minus the whole cost. I don't get to not subtract part of the cost. I have to subtract the whole cost, of course, unfortunately for me. So you got to put these parentheses here, minus the cost, and the cost, of course, we just wrote down. So that negative distributes. I don't get to add this 530 because that's an amount that I had to pay. I've got to subtract it. It only makes sense. All right, so what do we get for our profit? We get negative 0.04x squared plus 27 minus 2.2. So what do you get there?
$24.80.
24.8, I like it. And then of course, minus 530. And that's a down parabola like we know it should be. How you guys doing out there? Any questions? Are you guys?
It's a down parabola because of the negatives. The C is negative, right?
Yes, A is negative. So if the number in front of the x squared piece is
Okay,
negative.
A is negative.
Yeah. This just controls where it hits the y-axis.
The y-axis, yeah.
And now part E is the easiest problem so far. Do you guys agree with me? I mean, that's what I have to do with part E.
Plug it into X.
Yeah. That kicks so much ass. So my numbers are gross. Oops, Jeff, let's pay attention to what you're doing, buddy. My numbers are gross, but you know, I'm just going to throw this in the old calculator. Negative 0.04 times 200 squared plus 24.8 times 200 minus 530. Oh, let's see. Can you do that in your head, Jeff? Negative 160, 480, 496 minus 160, 338 minus 530, 192. Is that right? Negative 192. I can trust my brain. I think it's negative 192. Holy shit, Jeff. You're off by just a little tiny bit. What did I do wrong? 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, it's 8, not 0.8. Well, that's a good start, Jeff. Do you get 2830? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. Yeah, I was doomed from the beginning. Oh well. Anybody else get that? 2830? All right, that's better. So they're making some money. Yeah, in my head, I messed up the very first part. So I was doomed. I was doomed. All right, that's got to be an easy step, right? That's got to be okay. So if they sell 200 pairs of earrings, they make $2,030 in profit, which is nice. What's the y-intercept? Or in this case, it would be the, you know, the p-intercept, but how do you find the y-intercept or the p-intercept? What do you do? What do you do with
Plug in
x?
zeros.
Yeah, plug in 0. So this piece goes to 0, this piece goes to 0, so you're just left with this piece. So it's 0, negative 530. Why does that make sense? Because what does this 0 mean physically in terms of the problem, in terms of the situation? What does that 0 mean?
Not selling any.
Yeah, if they don't sell any, not only do they not make money, but they also don't make back their overhead costs, right? So it makes sense that I'm going to have a negative output for a 0 input. Okay, maybe.
Could the starting point be another?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Is that kind of like the starting point too, right? No?
Yeah, starting point, but I mean,
Overhead, yeah. Thank you.
yeah, it's the overhead. Yeah. It is sort of like where they start. Before they've sold anything, they're down 530. So they need to make 530 bucks just to break even. And if any of you guys have ever opened a business, you completely understand that. When you open your doors, you are in debt. So you're like, please, people, come, please. I think the book influenced my ability to type in English. I have no idea why I said this like this. Use the Vertex formula to find the maximum profit. And that's all I had to say. I don't know why I wanted to say it in 2 different ways. So I did. They both mean the same damn thing. What is the Vertex formula? What the hell am I talking about? What the hell is the Vertex formula?
Negative b divided by 2 times a.
Yes, you got it. And let's see, what's B?
B is negative 530.
Nope, that's C.
No, it's not. No, B is 24.8.
Yes.
Mhm.
So 24.8, negative 24.8 divided by twice A.
0.04.
Yeah, negative 0.04. Don't forget those negatives because these cancel, thankfully. I don't want to have to sell. Well, actually, if I had to sell negative earrings to make the maximum profit, I guess that makes sense because that would mean I was stealing people's earrings, huh?
Yeah,
Right?
they're just giving you money.
Negative sales is stealing earrings from people. This is not a good, yeah, don't learn business from Jeff. Okay, 24.8 divided by 0.08, right? I'm going to do what I can in my head, right? And then that actually comes out nice. I'm pretty sure this is 3,100. Is that right? No, 310. Come on, Jeff, get your decimals in the right place. I'm having decimal problems this morning. Is that right? 310, is that what you guys got? All right. What does that mean? What does 310 mean?
If at 310,
Is your max
yeah.
No.
when you start going down the vertex?
What does
310
X mean?
earrings.
What does X mean? In this problem, what does X mean?
The amount of earrings sold.
Yes, you got it. I think you just said it. So 310 pairs of earrings. So have I answered the question yet? How do you spell earrings? Looks weird. Have I answered the question yet?
No, you still have to find the profit.
There we go. So I got to find the profit. So let me put 310. Jeff, let me put 310 in there. Is everybody with me? And of course, you just throw this in the old calculator, right? And again, if you've done this homework, this feels very familiar. I'm not even going to try to play around with this in my head. In my head. In my head. All right. So somebody let me know when you figure out how much money that is.
$33.14.
Yep, 33.14. That's what I got. And then, how's everybody doing? Are you guys okay out there? So that's the actual max profit.
I have a question.
Yes.
I always get confused on the plus minus. So for the vertex formula is negative B, and then over here you have positive 24.8.
Oh, okay. So you had to go along with me. So when I wrote that down, do you see how there's a plus there and a plus there? Because, let's do this again. So so negative B over twice A. And A is negative, right? So what do the two negatives do?
Turn into a positive.
I like it.
Oh, those two together.
Yes. And that's why it's important not to forget this negative, and don't forget the negative if A is negative. Otherwise, you get the situation where you're stealing earrings because that's your business model.
Okay.
Right? This is not me. It was the math. Go arrest my math teacher. That asshole told me to steal earrings. No, I'm not doing that. All right. And just like the book, I give you a problem here that goes way back to the beginning. Right? There's my price. There's my price function. We haven't seen this guy since part A. Right? I've got so many things drawn around this poor little dude. There he is. There he is. And do I know what X is in this situation? What would X be to get the largest profit? What did we figure out?
310.
310. And now I just have to put that in, whatever the price function was, negative 0.04 X plus 27. So negative 0.04 times 310 plus 27. This will tell me, so this is not that far off from the calculations you would make to figure out what your price point is. You could also, of course, look at what other people around you are selling it at. Maybe you're going to sell it lower just to make sure you get people coming instead of going somewhere else, right? I mean, so there's other considerations here, but this, let's see, can I do this in my head? Why do you got to do this in your head, Jeff? 12.4, I think it's 14.6. Really? All right, shit. What did I do wrong? 1, 2, 1, 2. Not 12.4. It's got to be. You never know. I could be doing something really wrong. No, it is 14.6. Okay. So of course, if the earring people next door to you are selling it for $14.50, you might sell it for $14.40, because otherwise this whole model goes to shit. So there are other considerations beyond what this tells us, but this is a good starting point. All right, so expect a problem like this for sure, because it's got so many delicious things all in it. And that's so creepy when I say something like that. This problem is so delicious. But you got to figure out the equation of a line in 2 different ways. You got to multiply algebraic expressions. You got to find vertices. I mean, good Lord, this is just math bonanza there. This is just the math jackpot. All right. And how are these guys? How are these problems? These problems should not be any big issue here, right? You should love these problems because they really are just number puzzles. So you can always write that down. So for each one of these, there's a 1 here. So I could put an M and an M. And then it really does, in this one, there's a 1 there. So it's A. So it really does just become a number puzzle. What are the numbers at the end that will make this work? And we all know how to find them now. So what about part A? What goes here and here?
6 and 4.
Yeah, 6 and 4. Now I have somebody that would put 12 and -2. Doesn't that make 10? But what does it not do correctly?
Because you can get
What's
positive 24.
Yeah, 12 times -2 is not positive 24. So, all right. And then I give you a problem that's very similar. Oh, I just pretty much gave it away. I forgot I make this point. This is the point I'm trying to make between A and B. So what is it? What works for part B? Not quite this anymore, right? What's going to work for part B? It's not quite this, but it's almost this. Why is it not this? This makes -24, doesn't it? But it makes what kind of 10? It makes positive 10. Oh, shit. So what's the right answer for part B? You could do it. Instead of positive 12 and -2.
-12 and +2.
Yeah, see, that still makes -24. And now when you add them, it comes out negative because the bigger one's negative. Check. And then part C, I like this because I told you what to do if the middle term is a 1 and the last term is negative. That means I need 2 numbers that are 1 apart that make 110 when you multiply them. So what would that be?
-11 and -10.
11 and 10. But one of them's got to be positive, one negative, right? So it can multiply be negative. And they have to add to be, yeah, -10. The bigger one's positive, so they add to be positive for the middle term. Woo! All right, that finishes that. So now it's wide open. You guys, you can ask whatever you want to now. So you could ask a math question. You can ask a procedural question, like how is this going to work? You can ask, you could just ask. Or we can just sit here like this the rest of the time. I could put on some music in the background.
I have a question from quiz 4.
Okay. Quiz 4, let's see. So what's up? Let me see. Let me pull up a quiz 4. All right, what's up?
Sorry, I have to go to my back. It's taking forever on my computer. On question 1D.
Yeah. So on 1C, you would get the volume of the bouncy balls, right?
Yes.
And in 1A, you have the volume of the container.
So you just minus the 2?
Sorry?
Do you minus the 2?
No.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. If a can had a volume of 100 gallons, and I poured 5 gallons of water into it, what percentage of the can is filled with water? 5 out of 100.
Okay.
Percentages are always ratios, a part divided by a whole. So I've got, in part C, I've got the part that's filled by the bouncy balls. And in part A, I've got the whole, that's the container.
Okay, so the percent is going to be
The part,
part C over A.
yes, the part divided by the whole. I like it.
Okay. And then on question number 2, for some reason, I have the hardest time with changing measurements for some reason. I don't know why.
I will say this, 2B is kind of difficult.
Okay.
2B has got 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to it.
Okay. So I
if you're
got
in trouble, you go ahead.
2A and 2B, both of them. I did it wrong. So
listen, 2A says your child weighs so many pounds, right?
mm-hmm.
And she needs so many milliliters per kilogram. So right off the bat, you're like, damn, if I just knew how much she weighed in
kilograms.
So the first thing you do is change 60 pounds to kilograms.
Okay.
Yeah, and they gave you all those conversions there at the bottom. So let me ask you this. If we knew she weighed 60 kilograms, which I think is kind of, she's kind of hefty, but oh, if I'm remembering correctly, which way, if I knew she weighed 60 kilograms and she needs 0.05 milliliters per kilogram, what would I do with 60 and 0.05?
I don't know.
So now listen. If she was 1 kilogram, she would need
Mhm.
0.5 milliliters, right?
Okay.
If she was 2 kilograms, she would need how many milliliters?
I guess you would times it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do you actually have to know that going in? No, because if you set up the little grid, you're fine.
Mm. Got it. Okay. All right. And then part B.
Oops, shit. I just closed it. Hold on. Yeah, part B is a trip. So, so let me see. I give you the conversion at the time between Canadian dollars and American dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing you can do. So, all right, how do I, let me pull up a blank copy of this thing. There we go.
Can you share that while you're doing it there, Jeff? Yeah.
Yeah, I had to pull it up first. All right. I don't want to do corrections for anybody, but just to get this thing started, I need to change Canadian dollars to American dollars. I also need to change milliliters to ounces, but let's do one thing at a time, right? So 11 Canadian dollars per milliliter. And then I start going to town. Why am I doing it that way, Jeff? That doesn't matter, dude. So I give you the conversion between American dollars and Canadian dollars. Where would I put Canadian dollars? Which, top or bottom?
On the bottom.
Bottom, okay. And that's really, if you get that, you get the whole thing. You have to get the whole thing. Because now you just fill in what I tell you. What did I tell you later about American dollars and Canadian dollars? What did I tell you on the quiz? If you've got the quiz right there.
Mine looks a little different.
That's fine. You got the different, you got another version. It doesn't matter. Look further down where I gave you all the conversions. Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you see all the conversions on the next page?
Oh, you know why? It's because my feedback. I have to like click out of it. That's what's going on. Makes sense. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I don't have another. Oh, all the way at the bottom. Got it. Okay. Yes, I see it now.
So the very first thing I tell you is the American dollars and the Canadian dollars.
Yes. Okay. I see.
What do I tell you?
$1 equals 1.33 Canadian dollars.
So I fill it in just like this, right? I put the 1 up here next to its correct unit, and I put the 1.33 next to its correct unit. That's why conversions are so damn nice. If you just put the unit you want to die in the right place and the other unit you want to go to goes in the other place, you just fill in the numbers next to their unit. So 1 American dollar and 1.33 Canadian dollars. So what does this tell me to do? It tells me to take 11 divided by 1.33. But now I got to change milliliters to ounces, right?
Yes.
So if you look at your chart, is there a way to go from milliliters to ounces?
Directly, no.
No, it's going to take 3 steps. I'm not doing this the right way, so it's too bad for everybody. I'm going to clear what I've done so far so I can go down and look at so here's the stuff here, right? So I want to go from milliliters to ounces. So where do you see ounces?
At the liquid volume.
Yes. 8 ounces is 1 cup. 2 cups is 1 pint. 2 pints is 1 quart. 4 quarts is 1 gallon. And what about liters? Can I go from liters to quarts right here?
Yes.
Okay. Liters to quarts, quarts to pints, pints to cups, cups to ounces. You could actually consolidate a few of those steps, but if you don't, then it's going to be a really long grid. Do you see what we did though? I know I'm in liters and I know I want to get to ounces. So let me find, where's ounces? Here's ounces. So if I can get to cups, pints, quarts, gallons, oh, down here is liters. So I could go from liters to gallons, but I could also go from liters to quarts. And that's a little bit better because it's closer to where I want to be. Do you guys get that thought process? Where am I now? Where do I want to be? What connects those two things? What steps connect them? So the very first step, of course, is going to be a King Henry step. I want to go from milliliters to liters. All right. That's enough about that one. 2B is one of the harder problems for damn sure. Right, and it's all about mapping out the path you're going to take. So real quick example, if I had, somebody tell me if I had 500 milliliters, do you guys remember how to change that into liters?
You move the invisible decimal.
Yeah, move it 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that'd be 0.5 liters. And then I can go from liters to quarts. And then from quarts to pints. And then from pints to cups. And then from cups to ounces, right? So it's really just a matter of filling in all the units so that they kill each other as they go. And then just plugging in the calculator what it says to do. That's all conversions are. That's it. But it's this idea of figuring out the path you're going to take. People skip that step, and then it becomes very difficult. Yes. But see, like right here, I would put 1.06 quarts as 1 liter because that's the conversion. So there's that one step about, everybody understands this step. You put quarts down there so it kills this. And then I'm going to put pints up here. But then I'm going to put the numbers. 2 pints, 2 is 1 quart, 1. That's, and then if it's on top, you multiply. If it's on the bottom, you divide. So there are those 3 components of any conversion problem. The first one, kill the units correctly. The second one, fill in the numbers in the right place. The third one, do what it says to do. Multiply or divide. And you're like, yeah, when you say it like that, Jeff, sounds easy. But, you know, you do it and I understand, but it's okay. Anything else, guys? Yeah, if there are quiz corrections you have not done, they are due the day of the final, and they're a great way to review. So it's like you get points back for doing that, and you get study time in. Holy shit, that's a hello. Maybe there's a method to Jeff's madness. I don't know. Maybe not. Anything else, guys? You guys doing all right?
I have a question on entering in the distance formula into the calculator.
All right.
Because, okay. I think I'm entering it in wrong. Or another question I can ask is, can you do what's inside the parentheses and then do it to that power?
What kind of calculator do you have?
I just have the TI-30.
All right, but it when you put stuff in, it looks the same as the
Yes.
yes. So for example, if I had to do, hold on, let me do this. So distance formula. So let's say I have the points 8, -5, and 2, 3. So the distance formula would be 8 minus 2 squared plus -5 minus 3 squared, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you wanted to put all that in without doing like any by hand work, you just want to put all that shit in. Here we go. You would do square root, parenthesis. You're going to put it in exactly like this. Now, do you have a calculator? Does your square root button doesn't like grow, right?
No, it does not.
All right, let me change this so it matches you. So you put square root. So yours looks like that, right?
Yes.
All right. Do not. So here's the thing. That parenthesis is controlling what's inside the square root. So I'm going to have to put another parenthesis for the 8 minus 2. Because if I close that parenthesis, I don't want to close this until I got everything in that's supposed to be under the square root. So effectively what I'm doing is visually I can tell because this thing grows, but I need to put a parenthesis here and a parenthesis there so the calculator knows this whole thing is inside. Does that make sense?
Yes, totally.
Okay, there you go. So, and then you keep going. Let me see. Shit. How do I do this? Oh, yeah. 8 minus 2 squared plus parenthesis -5 minus 3 parenthesis squared. And then I can finally close the parenthesis because now, so see, this is together, and this one closes that one because I got everything in that I want. Neato, Jeff. I didn't even mean to make a good one. Yeah, it is a nice one. All right. I didn't even mean that. This is 6, 8, like 3, 4, 5 triangles. So 6, 8, 10 triangle. Did you have to know that? No, it doesn't matter. But so there's a lot of calculator mistakes that are based on the fact that, for example, when I write 7 minus 2 divided by 3 plus 6, are there any parentheses in what I just wrote? Not explicitly, but there are some implied ones because I wouldn't rewrite this like this, right? I would have to say, oh shit. So a big ass division bar means that the top and bottom are in parentheses. We just forget that's what it means because we see it like this so much. We don't even remember, oh, there's like implied parentheses here. When I put it in the calculator, does it look like a big ass division bar? No, it looks like a divide. So I got to do it like this. Because again, the calculator doesn't have eyeballs. Poor little dude. So yeah, there's an extra layer, of course. Everybody's like, I want to use a calculator. I want to use a calculator. And then you use a calculator and get them all wrong because you're not putting them in correctly. So there's that other layer of, okay, you can use a calculator, but you got to know how to put it in there. Oof.
Okay, and then I have a question on quiz 8 on problem number 2. Which one was it? 2C.
Oh yeah. All right.
Were we
All right.
supposed to go? Oh, okay, sorry.
That's all right. I don't want to, again, I don't want to do this specific one. All right. If you knew how many students were going to Grossmont in any given year, how would you figure out how many students that could be helped by this program? So if I know that there's 100,000 students, holy shit, Jeff. All right, 30,000 students going to Grossmont, and my program can help a certain percentage of them, how would I figure out how many students?
You would times it.
Yeah. Now, so part C is 2 parts.
Right.
Yeah, C has 2 parts to it. Number 1, where I say how many students could the program help in whatever years, depending on the version you've got. Right? That's 2 steps. You got to know how many students would there be. So that's step 1. You've already got an equation that you created for that, right?
Right. So we are going off of the 1.02% per year.
Yes, because this
increase.
is one
Okay.
problem. This is
Got
one
it.
problem. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
And then you take that number and you can multiply it by the amount that the program can help, right?
Okay. So, okay. I see. So I was trying to do it
Very
on-
similar to, in fact, it's exactly the same as some homework problems you guys had to do.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I was struggling with the later homeworks, last 3 chapters. So,
Gotcha. Everybody else doing all right? You guys are okay? You guys are like, just make it stop, Jeff. It's almost over. It's almost done. Sometimes you finish that final and you're like, I could have failed. I could have passed. I'm just happy it's over. I understand. I remember that feeling so well. I remember I had a teacher that you turn your test in and he would look at it and you get this look on his face. And I kept telling myself, I'm not going to look back. I'm going to turn it in. I'm not going to look back. And I would look back every time and he would pick my and go, I was like, damn, Jeff, you said you wouldn't look back. So let me see, just to remind you guys about, let's see. So I should have the final graded. I'm pretty sure I can get it graded by tomorrow night, believe it or not. I'm giving a final later that day. So I'm going to be grading these finals while I'm giving that final. So I should be able to get them done. You can email me anytime to ask how you did. Because once I get them done, I'm going to put them into Web Advisor. But sometimes it takes it a while to update. So if you want to know sooner, you can just email me and I'll reply to you when I get done. Cool. And what really sucks is I normally bring like cookies and stuff on the final exam. And so you're going to have to BYOC, bring your own cookies to the final.
Hi, Jeff.
Yes.
I have to revisit the problem you helped me with earlier on page 590 because I plugged it in, it just doesn't work out.
590. Which one was it?
Number 4.
Plugged what in?
So okay, so I just to check my work, the answer that I got, I replaced it I replaced X with that number and it didn't come out to be 0.
What'd you get?
The first time I got 2242.857.
That's
Blah, blah,
correct.
blah. That's correct, right?
Yep.
So when I replace it with X, it didn't turn out, it couldn't come out to 0.
All right. Does it come out now? Did you put the whole number in, or did you round it?
Yes. No, I put the whole number in. I used the
Oh.
memory function.
Oh, okay. So then, what do you get? What do you get instead of 0?
Let me see. Let me try to pull it back up. I got negative 1.5 to the negative 9th power.
Yes, I like it. Now I don't, but I did get that when I put it in. Anyway. What that means is, do you understand? Do you remember what E negative 9 means? Times 10 to the negative 9, which is like 0.00000000.
Right.
So that's basically 0. So sometimes the calculator has what's called resolution problems. When it's really close to 0, it doesn't quite make it 0, just because
Okay.
it does it sometimes.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
when I see something like E negative 9 or something, oh, it's the calculator's trying to tell me it's 0.
Okay. All
You're
right.
fine. Yeah.
I was just checking my work and I was like, what the hell?
See, it's one of those neat things about calculators are not infallible because they can't, and a lot of the problems are resolution issues. They can't get infinitely close to something. I don't know if that makes any sense, but sometimes it just gets close and goes, okay, that's enough, because of the way that it's built to do problems. And that's an interesting class in its own. I took a class based on what are the ways the calculator does different things. And we looked at it. We saw why it had issues with certain things. And that's one of them. It's a big one. Anyway, so
Okay.
that makes sense. Okay.
A little bit. Okay. Thank you.
Sure. All right, guys. I think that's about time, just about. So remember, my office hours start at 8 a.m. tomorrow, so you certainly are free to come in. Please, dear God, try to get in before 9:25, just to make sure there's no technical issues or anything. And if there are technical issues, if your internet's dead, well, actually, if you have no way to get in touch with me, the minute you can, do, right? But you never know what's going to happen. It's the beauty of Wi-Fi. The wonder of Wi-Fi. All right. Otherwise, I'm going to call it. Let me know if you need to hang out, if you got any questions. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow.
Wait, I have one more question.
Yes.
On quiz 8, I'm a little confused on 3B. You circled part of my thing and then you did ... And you said
All
question.
right.
I don't know what it means and what you're talking about.
All right. So did you explain what it meant? Because that was part of the question, right?
I said it was the break even points.
All right, hold on. Here we go. All right, where are you? There it is. Get in there. All right, this is exciting. Let's see. Come on. There we go. I'm finally in there. Yay. All right, let's see. Oh, there we go. 3B. This is, oh, you just say this.
You say you didn't like that? You wanted me to like go more in
Like
detail?
10 means what, which leads to 0, which means what? 475 means what, which leads to 0, which means what? So.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're not wrong. They are the break-even points, but what does that mean?
Okay.
And,
So
and more specifically about how many toasters and stuff, right? Wasn't this toasters yet?
yes. Okay. And then one last question on 4C with the 3 parentheses. I kind of looked online to see how to do it. So you do like, I don't
Well,
know.
listen,
guess-
watch. You ready? You ready?
Okay.
Watch. You ready? Do this in your head. What is 2 times 3 times 5?
2 times 3 times 5. I don't know. 6, 30.
There. What did you just do? Didn't you just do 2 times 3 first? And then
Yes.
you're going to multiply. Okay, that's how you do every set of numbers. So y minus 1 is a number. Y plus 2. Yeah, that's yours. Y plus 2 is a number. Y minus 4. So you multiply y minus 1 and y plus 2 first.
Wait, say that again? Y minus 1.
And y plus 2. Just like you did 2 times 3 first, right?
Okay.
There's nobody on the face of the earth, I don't care how good you are at math, that can do like 8 times 5 times 7 all at once. We all have to do 8 times 5 and then times 7.
Okay. So I start off with the first 2 parentheses. After I do that,
Yes.
then I go to parentheses. That's what you're saying
Then
to
you
do?
get an answer there, and then you distribute with the y minus 4.
Got it. Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. The rest of you guys doing okay? What's up?
Yep. See you later there, Jeff.
All right. See you, Linnell.
All right. I had a little technical difficulty today. That's why
I
I was
noticed.
Yeah. I was like the
Saw you from
internet
2
would
different
come up.
angles.
Yeah. What's going on?
All right. Let's hope
I
it's
switched
cleared up.
services, really. That's what happened. I switched services.
Uh-oh. All
So
right.
I had to put the password in.
Gotcha.
And I was able to pull it back up on my laptop.
Gotcha.
All right. See you tomorrow.
All right, man.
Thanks.
One quick question. My mind just went blank for when I'm writing. Okay, when I multiply. Okay, just say this is 4 times 3a, and a is 6.2. Do I put 3 times 6.2?
Yes.
So 4 times 3
Times.
or 3.2 together, and then that times 4.
That doesn't matter. It's all multiplication. So the order you do it in doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's only when there's different operations that you got to be careful about the order. But, because like 5 times 2 times 7 is the same thing as 7 times 5 times 2. They're all there. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All righty. Thank you.
You're welcome. See, Ian, you okay out there? I'm going to head out.
Yeah, I'm okay. I was just sticking
Okay.
around to make sure
All right.
didn't miss it.
I got you. All right, man. I'll see you tomorrow.
See you.